Okay, this is I gave a talk some time ago. What I just wish I knew before I started painting watercolor, and I'm going to have Barry just read it. The copies are there, so you don't have to copy anything down while I'm getting ready. Okay? What we're going to do is take the ruler and pencil, and we're going to make 7 lines this way, and then we're going to make 7 squares this way. Okay? Go. Wet your paints, because you know it takes them a minute to get loose from hard. You need to get soft paints, okay? Wet your paints first, draw your lines second. By the way, when I go painting, this is all I take and the paper. I have a little palette in there. You don't need to break your back. And sometimes I don't have everything, but that's okay. There's artists around. What we're actually going to do is something like this. Okay? We're going to put our yellows, our reds, and our blues, but we're not going to do it exactly like this for a reason. And we're going to leave this one in the corner blank. And then we're going to put the colors down here. Okay? So what I want you to do is take your cad red, your cad yellow, and your French ultramarine blue and put them right in front of you so you remember. I have a brush that's approximately the same size as my square. So I'm going to take my red, which is my cad red. I'm going to put it in the top slot and in the first slot. Cad red. Okay, those 2 slots. The second one, we're going to put cad yellow. We're going to put it next door. Like this. Okay, everybody see this? The next color we're going to take is French ultramarine blue or ultramarine blue. Okay, the next color we're going to take is where are you doing it? Okay. The next color we're going to take is a Glycerin Crimson. And this is where the Alicerin Crimson goes. Look up here. Right next to the French Ultramarine, okay? On both sides. The color we're going to take is lemon yellow. Now, if your water is dirty, don't swish your water. Just take your water from the top because the pigment will drop down. What color blue? Cerulean, right. Yes, you may. Yeah, we'll take a. So now I still have 2 bags. Okay, so you wonder why I did it this way? Do you need to look at this?
Ultramarine and then
Alyssa. Okay. Oh no, this. What did I missed one? Alicerin. Where's lemon yellow?
lemon yellow we don't have.
Okay, lemon yellow is the last one.
No, cerulean's the last one, lemon yellow.
It should look something like this. Now, you ask, why did I not put the reds together, the yellows together, and the blues together? The first 3 are warm colors. The next 3 are cool colors. So what constitutes a cool color? It has a little bit of blue or green in it, okay? A warm color has a little bit of what in it? Red or orange, okay? That's how you know cool from warm. Why is that important? Because if you mix a warm color with a cool color, you get mud. It's quite simple. The other thing that is important is the range that a paint goes. So for instance, yellow doesn't really get any darker when it goes down.
Sharon,
yes.
Cad red is a warm or a cool? Warm.
Cad red has red in it, and
so it's a warm.
Yes.
Oh, and okay.
And the ultramarine blue has a touch of red in it. And yellow is yellow, but yellow is warm because it doesn't have any green in it, cad yellow. Lemon yellow, as the name may imply, has a little bit of green in it. Okay? This is a range of colors. So if you're trying to make yellow darker, you can't. We'll talk at that another time. But you can see most of these colors have a range from lighter to darker. Okay? It's just interesting to know the range of value of different colors. Here, the blues and gets darker. The greens gets darker. This green gets darker, and this green gets darker. I've taken a lot of seminars. This is one of the first ones I did, and I know that because the paper is like 500 pounds. Someone gave me some paper and I didn't know the value. Anyway, it's a live and learn thing, this life. Okay, so now what I want you to do is, if you mix red with red, are you going to get a deeper red?
Yes.
Great. Let's mix red with red. And we're going to put it in the red and red slot.
Is it red with less water? Or?
No, if you do the color, that's why I showed you the color values, okay? So I know that red and red makes red. Okay. Red, CAD red with CAD yellow. And we're going to mix those two. Okay, CAD red with CAD yellow. Yes. CAD red with yellow. Okay, here.
There should be 2 spots
No. This.
down below and down below.
Oh, and down below. CAD red with yellow. Yes. 2 spots. Now I understand what you're asking.
Chicken board.
And it's interesting, my second one is much oranger than the first one. Get the idea now? Okay. So now we're going to mix CAD red with French ultramarine blue. What color do you think we're going to make? Red and blue. Purple. Yes. I wonder if you mix it the opposite way. Now, if it doesn't turn out purple, this should be a 50-50 mix. So if it doesn't turn out purple, you've got not enough of one of them. Oops. Add red.
It depends on the percentage.
And sometimes you might make a mistake like I just did and put it in the wrong square, in which case you blot it, wet it, blot it. Get rid of that color. So this is what it should look like, including the mistake. Okay. The reason you do these things, when I was new, every workshop I went to, do you need to see this again? Every workshop I went to, the artist said, these are the paints I use. I went out and bought those paints. Then the next artist said, these are the paints I use. And I went out and bought those paints. I have so many paints. But now that I know how to mix color, I don't need so many paints, unless it's a color you use all the time. You know, like I use French ultramarine blue a lot. Little tubes, by the way. Big tubes get hard. It is, even the little tubes get hard, so.
You know, and I saw a tip about that. If you have a tube of paint that's completely solid.
Yeah.
Which all of us probably.
Yeah, yes, I do.
So what you do is you take that paint and you put water down on a painting, and you take like a screen or a scissor, and you sand a piece of sandpaper, and you sand that hard paint and drop it and let it drop into that water, and it gives you a tone. It gives you a texture, so you don't have to waste that.
You can also put it in a bottle.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Reconstitute.
With a spray or and then you can
Yeah, you put it in hot water. Remember, it's hot water. When you take your pliers to open the lid top, hold the little top so you don't squeeze the paint too. You learn these things.
Stand it upside down in warm water.
Yes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, yeah, use the pliers.
But I sometimes take a straightened out paper clip and poke a hole into the tube
Oh, I do too.
and then put drops of water with the dropper
Yes,
into it.
that's a great idea. Okay, I forgot about the water when I did it. I have chopsticks. Slam it in there. And then, as Pam says, add a drop or two of water. That will reconstitute, if you can get it in there. Okay, let's go on. So now, you know, with red, yellow, and blue, you can make orange and purple. 2 colors you don't have to buy. Okay, let's try a glycerin with lemon yellow. A glycerin, lemon yellow.
Lemon yellow and fat red.
No. Lemon yellow and a glycerin crimson. I switched on you. Yeah, lemon yellow and a glycerin crimson.
That would go there. But I'm doing that.
Yeah, that's fine. But then you can
And then that and that.
so it's fine.
Different places.
Now, the interesting thing about mixing these 2 cool colors is you get a beautiful orange. Okay, and look where I put the square. Okay, because I said lemon yellow first, and then or I hope I did, a glycerin crimson. Okay, so now we're going to mix lemon yellow with cerulean, and I love this color. Lemon yellow and cerulean. Cerulean is the sky color. French ultramarine is the color for oceans. Or when you mix them, you get a wonderful apple green. Lemon yellow and cerulean.
And when you travel, you just need to take the primary colors. And
Yes, when you're on a boat traveling, you just take the primary colors and paper.
Payne's gray.
Okay, so we know if we mix lemon yellow and lemon yellow, it'll be lemon yellow. It won't be darker or lighter. It'll just be the same. So I'm switching things around so you have to pay attention. I hope you realize that. It's not because I forgot. Okay, so what color do we need to mix next in the warms?
Cad and ultramarine.
What cad?
Yellow.
Cad yellow with what? Ultramarine. Okay, let's mix cad yellow with ultramarine. And what color green do you think this is going to be? Pardon? A what?
Dark.
Dark green. Leaf green or forest green.
Moss green? Sap green? One of those.
No, I think
I could really yellows, those dark yellows.
Avocado green.
One of our artists Teaching a workshop.
And here it is.
It's actually quite beautiful.
It is beautiful. Oh, okay. If we mix French Ultra with French Ultra, we know that it'll be a darker blue. Is that correct? Hello?
Yes.
Thank you.
So we're gonna mix what?
No. So we're going to mixing blue with blue because we know it's going to be blue. What we're interested in is what other colors can we mix? So let's mix cerulean with alizarin crimson. Cerulean with alizarin crimson. Now remember, just take your water from the very top of your,
Yeah, thanks for that tip.
yeah.
We're doing cerulean and alizarin crimson.
And that's another purple.
You're helping me. You were pointing about where to go.
So what was it called?
This was alizarin crimson and
No, cerulean.
Cerulean.
Alizarin and cerulean. Yeah. This is a cool with a cool, and it's a very lovely purple. You got what? If you had blue, you didn't put enough alizarin in it. Has to be 50-50. Okay, let's see if we can make, what color? We've done that without, not without. Let's mix a warm and a cool and see what we get. So let's mix cad yellow with cerulean. Cad yellow and cerulean. Oh, not bad. It didn't make mud. Wow. I was wrong. It's a beautiful green. Okay. Here, I'll hold it up high so you can see. That help? Okay. Let's mix alizarin with cad yellow. So that's a warm yellow and a cool red. Alizarin with cad yellow. This exercise is designed to make you think.
Trouble is, I won't remember it when I eat it.
you know, Carl Purcell was great with the quinacridone.
Yeah.
Oh, he introduced those.
Yeah. They're very good.
Yes.
In fact, I'm using a quinacridone red because I couldn't find a cad red, and I didn't want to go shopping again. Okay, what was I doing? Alizarin with cad yellow.
How many times have you done this, Barry?
in the past.
Yes, so you get an orange, but it is not brilliant. So it's a nice shadow color. Okay. Everybody got it? Okie doke. So you get the idea of how to mix, and I know people do your homework is fill in the rest of the squares and bring it back next month. And then we'll see if we got all the same colors. Okay, so now we know the difference between warm and cool. Now, what about transparent? Yes? What about transparent and opaque? How do you tell when a color is transparent?
You're gonna mark it first.
What kind of marker?
Sharpie.
A Sharpie, a black marker. And you put it over top of or before?
Well, whatever. Either way. I mean,
Okay.
I usually put it before and then run a color on top of it. And if it dulls the black, it's okay.
Okay. The top row, and you can take a picture of this with your phones if you like. This is showing burnt sienna and running a line through it. You can get back to the white paper. Viridian, ultramarine, glycerin crimson. Now, Lynn is a master at painting translucent. Okay, come, Lynn. Nobody gets away from me. Now, point out your translucent paintings. Is that the only one there? So if someone picked this one, it wouldn't be translucent because you can't see through to the paper. But she has deep color there. How are they going to tell? I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I'm...
You use the paint like tea, and they're not permanent colors. If they're permanent colors, they'll stain the paint, the paper, and then you can't lift them. So don't use permanent. It's a little mark on the paint itself says permanent. That stains the paper, then you can't lift it. It just says permanent color. The color says permanent. Then you can't lift it because it's a stain.
Okay, staining colors, you cannot lift. For instance, what is a staining color?
It's permanent green.
What?
There is a permanent green.
And that'll stain the paper, so you can't lift it.
Yeah, so if you can lift it, I don't think they can hear you.
Okay, if it says permanent on the tube. This is not a thing. If it says permanent on the tube, it's a staining paint. It's got stain in it.
But not many say permanent. You get permanent green, permanent red.
I know, but they use mainly staining when they say permanent. If they don't say permanent, you can lift it, and you can most likely get back to it.
So before you start a translucent painting that has a separate award from all the other awards, yes, it's a very high-priced award. Watercolor used to be only translucent painting, and some watercolor societies are strictly translucent watercolors. So before you start a translucent watercolor, check all your colors to see if they're staining. Okay? Now, opaque means, this is how I work at home too. You have to step over things. Now, opaque, usually you add white. Okay? So these are opaque examples, both of these. And these are the colors that they look like.
So did you mix white with translucent to get opaque, or are they just opaque?
Whatever you mix white with will become opaque. Okay? So if you need white on your, or a light color, you leave the paper white.
So gouaches are opaque.
What?
Gouache.
Gouache is definitely opaque.
But some cadmiums and some colors on the Daniel Smith catalog.
Now, Daniel Smith is a different kind of paint because it's made with actual stones.
Well, some, but
Yeah.
the Permatech.
Okay, well, but just as a general rule. So that's why I use Holbein or Winsor Newton or Graham or who else? Yeah, all of those other ones that are expensive.
Holbein is
Sennelier?
Holbein's
Huh?
Sennelier?
Sennelier, you know, I haven't used enough to know.
Sennelier is good as well.
It's
good.
is it translucent? Most of it, or
I don't know. I only have a few.
yeah, I only have a few also. By the way, they're the number one paint.
Oh,
Beep.
Sennelier?
Sennelier.
Made in France, right?
No, are they made in France?
Yeah, I think so.
They must be with a name like Sennelier. This is another way to tell if it's opaque here or translucent. Okay, that's another way. Something that's good to do when you have a lot of different paints like me on your palette and you've forgotten what it is, or you want to see what different blues from different manufacturers are. So this is Winsor Newton, Cerulean Mammaria. This is Holbein Cobalt. This is Phthalo Blue Red shade, which I never understood why they do that. And this is Phthalo Blue Academy, which is a cheap paint, but a lot of
Very intense.
pigment. This is Barino Mammaria, which is cooler than the Cerulean. This is Sennelier Prussian Blue. This is Joe's Blue, Cheap Joe. This is Phthalo Holbein. This is Phthalo Blue Red. You kind of compare those. This is Ultramarine Deep. Then I do the same for greens. Now, Opera. Opera is a great color. This is Opera. Very bright. And it's great for what? It's great for a focal point, but it's a great mixer also.
Lovely purple.
Makes lovely purples. Yeah. And then I have some other paints. This is Sienna Red, but I forgot to write down who it was. This is Quiller Red.
What's the reddest red you like?
I like a red orange.
What's it called? Red orange? Scarlet? Cad red? Cad red?
It's supposed to be cad red. What I was using today was quinacridone red because I didn't have any cad red. Now the quinacridomes are supposed to be perfect chemically formulated colors. So you can use those. Yeah. The color wheel. A lot of people don't know how to use the color wheel. I bought it big so I could read it. There's some more. But take time to read your color wheel. So what is a split complementary? It'll tell you. What is a triad? A split complementary is like yellow purple. It's a split complementary. A triad is three, obviously, using three colors equally spaced from each other on the wheel. So this is a complementary. Can everybody see this? This is a split complementary. If you want to use three colors, and say you really love this red, and you're wondering what you can mix with it. Well, you can go up here and you could use that green, and go down here and you could use that blue. Okay, or say you wanted a tetrad using 4 colors. Say you wanted to use this color of orange. You go to tetrad, it's pointing here. Tetrad is pointing here, so I go over here, so it's salmon and pink. Over here, it's blue-violet. And up here, it's a light green. So it's really interesting when you mix those particular colors, they will always work at a painting, okay? So if you don't know, say you want to paint something with green, but you want to have things that go with the green. You decide, do you want green red as Christmas? The other thing is, if you mix green and red, going over here to the Quiller wheel, oh, they don't have a green. Well, they have Viridian. So if you mix Viridian with Pyro orange, you'll get this orange, or 50-50, you'll get this color, or less than 50-50, you'll get like, what is that stone that everybody pays so much for? Turquoise. Okay, if you mix yellow with purple, 50-50, you'll get a neutral gray. So you don't need to buy gray. Okay, so the primary colors are this shape. This is a primary, this is a primary, and phthalo blue on his chart is primary. Okay, so if you have a phthalo blue and you don't know what to do with it, you can look on the Quiller wheel and find out how to mix it. That's confusing, I know. I just happen to have it because we had a Quiller workshop when I was the workshop chairperson, and he gave it to me. On this side, it tells you how to mix the paints. Okay? Lots of information on this. Now, this is a magic. Everybody, I can see who's neutral. I can see who's light and dark. So if you put this over a painting, I'm going to move again. Okay, over here. Good idea. So if I put this over a painting, let's do this one. Can you see from that far? You can see this is light and this is dark. It tells you if you're painting all in the same value. Like if we look at the roses, they're all the same color. But then you look around the roses and we see dark. So that's what makes this one pop. It's a filter. It's a filter that helps you determine if your painting is all the same color or not.